Hi, I'm Patty Ann Brown, and you are in the Strategy Room. Another possible October surprise from the Clinton camp today, just days away from the presidential election. The FBI released an archive of documents, 129 pages, from the 2001 investigation into Bill Clinton's pardon of a fugitive financier, Marc Rich. You may recall this was a very controversial story back in the early 2000s. This new revelation is now prompting questions from the Clinton camp about the timing of the release. Joining us now with reaction, Democratic strategist Joe Lestingi and Republican strategist Charmaine Yoest. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks for having us.
So Rich's ex-wife Denise Rich pledged a $450,000 donation to the Clinton Foundation to build the presidential facility. This all happening almost 15 years ago, but Joe, is it relevant now because of the suggestion of a possible quid pro quo?
No, because it's not relevant now because Comey, who also wrapped up this investigation, is still the head of the FBI back in 2005, and there was never anything found here to be of any substance. This was involving an ex-wife, so I don't know how that ties into someone after a divorce like this. I mean, the FBI is going to have some explaining to do after this election about the process by which they have released this information, and Comey's going to have some heat on him. If these email revelations about Hillary Clinton do not turn up something that he can prosecute, he just meddled in a federal election, and he's going to have to explain himself not only to the voters, but to Congress. There's a lot of things going on here that most agencies understand. Look, if you don't have something solid and concrete, you don't say anything at all.
Well,
and both parties agree on this right now.
Joe, he promised the Congress that he would update them if there were any developments in the case, and a discovery of 650,000 previously unknown emails.
We don't know that they're previously they have not deduped the list. They have not even said if it actually involves Hillary herself.
And they might be redundant emails, previously unknown, meaning that they did not know that this cache of emails was sitting there on Huma's computer that she shared with Anthony Weiner. But in any case, back to the story here about this second release of information. This is what the FBI's Freedom of Information Unit does. It releases documents upon request, and in fact, last month, the same unit published files from as far back as 1966 about Donald Trump's father, Fred Trump. So, Charmaine, what do you make of this latest release, and is there anything about the timing?
Well, you know, Patty Ann, good thing we've got the Freedom of Information Act, because we're getting a lot of information that we might not otherwise have from the Clinton campaign. And frankly, I thought that her campaign was about transparency and getting information out there. So what exactly is she afraid of? You know, what this shows is a track record of pay for play with the Clinton family. You know, they were renting out the Lincoln bedroom when he was president, and there was a huge controversy over this when it happened back in the 90s. So part of what's really important about this, though, now that's coming out today is WikiLeaks just released an email showing that Peter Kadzik, who is the Assistant Attorney General overseeing the review of Huma's emails, was also connected to Marc Rich back in the 90s. He was his attorney. And he is also being shown today with an email to John Podesta revealing internal FBI workings related to Hillary's emails, turning that information over to the campaign. So, you know, if your viewers are wanting to follow the bouncing ball, you need to have a 6 degrees of separation flow chart, org chart, for the incestuous relationships between all of these people and the absolute flagrant violation of any kind of barriers between the FBI in terms of the political appointees at the top and the Clinton campaign.
Let me let Joe back in.
There is so much corruption here, it's breathtaking.
Joe, the FBI says that under law, documents requested 3 or more times under the Freedom of Information Act are automatically, electronically made public shortly after they're processed on a first-in, first-out basis. Doesn't that rule out a political motivation?
I think, well, it goes back to the bigger picture here, which is there is a timing matter that matters. When we're talking about political campaigns, things sway based on public releases like this, and they have to set up some boundaries here. They have got to talk about realistic terms in terms of the campaign cycle and the way the news cycle works.
Well, Joe, are you concerned about the
influence matter when there's only
so
much information out there? Now, we're talking about the Clinton family that has been in the public spotlight for 30 years. They're an open book to the public. We know more about their lives than we know about the Kardashians or any other reality figure out there. Yet Donald Trump, on the other hand, can hide behind being a private citizzen. He doesn't have to release his tax records. He doesn't have to talk about his business deals. He doesn't have to talk about any of that stuff. So I think in terms of clarity and being forthright, the Clintons have been pretty open with their entire life, including personal details that are no one's business.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Charmaine, last word, real quick.
Just Hillary Clinton is notoriously not transparent, and this is another example. And what I think is really troubling as we go forward is we do need to look at these relationships that this Marc Rich release illustrates.
The
Okay.
FBI investigated it. This was closed.
All right, we're leaving it
This
there.
was
Joe
closed.
and Charmaine, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Patty Ann.
And for complete coverage of the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Patty Ann Brown. Thanks for watching.